desert, and beyond that, clear out past Barstow, and everywhere else in the valley, all the way to Arizona. None of that area will be called a safety zone. There will be no safety zone. I can guarantee you the safety zone will be eliminated.
Paris, Texas is a film that came out in 1984 that's written by Wim Wenders and written by Sam Shepard. So Paris, Texas was last week's Patron Poll winner, and it won through a sudden death tiebreaker poll. Edward Yang's Yeezy almost won, but Paris, Texas won the tiebreaker poll. And Paris, Texas is a film that I've heard quite a bit about, and I've honestly only heard nothing but stunning things about this film. So going into it, I really didn't know what to expect story-wise. And now that I've seen Paris, Texas, this is a film that I truly think is absolutely beautiful, stunning, and emotionally involving. This is a film where I truly felt every ounce of emotion. And usually I'm somebody that cries all the time during movies. It doesn't matter which movie I watch, you put Garfield, The Tale of Two Kitties, I don't know, I'll probably cry during that for some reason. But for the past year or so, I haven't really been like that. It's been taking a lot more effort to really pull tears out of me. And this is the first film that I've seen in a long time that I actually got choked up with. There were certain segments in this film that I thought worked incredibly well on an emotional level, but also in a thematic level, and just an overall filmmaking level. I just think was some brilliant filmmaking. And the first thing I'll say about this film is that, yes, we have to address the cinematography because it was one of the biggest things I heard about this film going into it. And I gotta be honest, at first I was thinking, I'm surprised anybody was praising the cinematography because, initially it didn't seem to be the first thing that was truly jumping out at me. But as the film progressed, I started realizing why people were saying the cinematography is brilliant, because it's honestly one of the most stunningly shot films in the most subtle and simplistic way that I've ever seen. Because the cinematography in this film is incredibly simplistic, in terms of movement, and in terms of, not having that much flashiness to it. But it's beautiful in its own simplicity, and the framing and just the color and the lighting, the beauty in its cinematography is its subtlety. And that's something that I really admired out of this film, because it's been quite a long time to where I've been able to appreciate the camera work in a way that wasn't in your face and really obvious as to why it was stunning and it was beautiful. And the performances in this film are all around fantastic. Of course, Harry Dean Stanton is one of the standouts in this film. And he obviously gives a much more subdued performance in this film. And you really are convinced by all the emotion that's presented within his character, because he is somebody that is deeply conflicted on the inside, and slowly but surely throughout the film just reveals a little bit more of himself as the film progresses. And his performance was absolutely riveting, especially what happens in the third act, which is what I'll get to later. Natasha Kinski, I believe is how you pronounce it. She plays Harry Dean Stanton's wife in this film, and she's also really incredible. And again, especially in that third act, where her character starts, having more screen time, that's when both of these main characters really shine in this film. Harry Dean Stanton shines throughout the film, but that's that third act scene, basically the ending of the film, is where I was just absolutely floored by the performances, and just how they deliver their lines, and just all the subtleties of their body language that really convey these intense emotions that really just say a lot about their past and what they've been through. But yeah, even with that being said, the performances are great. The aesthetic presentation of this film is fantastic. It has beautiful craft, obviously. But I don't know what I'm impressed with more. Is it all that, or is it the writing? Because usually I'm not one to really praise the writing so much. Usually the writing isn't something that really stands out and floors me. But this is a film that truly proves that you can reveal information through dialogue in a way that's incredibly powerful. And obviously throughout this film the writing is great, but again, I gotta get back to that ending in that third act of the film where not only do the performances shine and does the framing of the camera work shine, but the writing does. And the writing might just be the best aspect of this film, and that's saying quite a bit because everything is also fantastic about it. But it's the writing of that ending and how the film finally reveals this information about these characters' past that we've just been dying to know throughout the film, and it reveals it in the most emotionally flooring way that I've ever seen, and thought worked on an emotional level, worked on a thematic level, and is overall just genius writing. And again, it's all done so well that even though it's a really long scene, you just feel incredibly engaged throughout the entire scene, and nothing really feels like it drags in terms of that scene. I think all of that is perfect, and since all of it works so incredibly well, it does an excellent job at making you feel the emotion from the scene, and it's one of those scenes that I couldn't really help but feel a bit choked up by, because all the emotion that is just coming together in that scene and getting revealed, and all the information that's being revealed to you, it just hits you on a whole other level. And again, it's also incredibly thematic because this is a film that, to me, is a lot about guilt. It's a lot about escape. It's a lot about relationships. It's a lot about making mistakes. And this is a film that explores these themes that are incredibly human, that a lot of people go through their entire life. These are things that pretty much you're not a human if you don't go through these things. And I thought it explored these really harsh and real things that people go through in a way that I think a lot of people can get on board with and truly feel something genuine out of it. And there's also this scene in the second act where these kind of home videotapes are getting revealed. And if it was any other film, that could be portrayed as just really cliche and corny and just doesn't work and can be viewed as really manipulative. But here, it's just the context and the execution of everything feels incredibly authentic and genuine. And that's another one of those scenes that I just really couldn't help but get tears pulled out of me. And it's just really beautiful stuff. Like that scene, the ending scene, a handful of other stuff that goes throughout this movie, I just think is beautiful filmmaking. And again, the writing might just be the best aspect of this film because it really impressed me. I'm somebody that really is not a fan of information being conveyed to you through dialogue, but this film basically slapped me in the face and proved to me that you can have such impressive and emotional scenes that just work on every level if you just do it right and you present it in the correct way. And I love that aspect of this film. I love pretty much every aspect of this film. The only thing I'll say is that I think it is a bit too long. I believe it's a 2-hour and 20-minute film. There are some parts in the second act that I think just kind of dragged just a little bit. But overall, this is a really beautiful film. And it's on Criterion, so you best believe that when July rolls around, I'm going to be doing my best to pick this up because I think that this is a really beautiful film. It works on an emotional level, works on a thematic level, it works on an aesthetic level. The performances are just amazing. So I'm going to give Paris, Texas a soft 9 out of 10. Yeah, please check this film out if you haven't already. This is a film that I really don't think is going to let you down. I feel like I could watch this with, you don't even have to be a huge film lover to really like this film. Which kind of surprised me that I haven't really heard about it and I thought would be more popular because really there's nothing about this film that would really aggravate your casual moviegoer. So I think this film would work for anybody and that's really special. So again, please check it out if you haven't. I think it's a really special piece of filmmaking. But either way, that's what I got to say about Paris, Texas. If you really enjoyed what I had to say about it, please give this video a thumbs up and share it amongst your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to be updated on more film-related content.